A French MEP went on hunger strike yesterday in an unprecedented protest against the obscene lack of funding for climate, jobs and public health in the European Union's next long-term budget. Pierre Leroux, a member of the Socialist and Democrats group, lashed out at Angela Merkel and Emmanuel Macron, demanding cuts to the bloc's upcoming 7-year multi-annual financial framework be reversed. The Frenchman vowed to go, day and night, without eating, to highlight scandalous actions of EU leaders who shaved billions off the 2021 to 2027 budget package earlier this year. Writing on social media, Mr. Leroux said, to put pressure on Angela Merkel and Emmanuel Macron, with as many citizens as possible, I start a hunger strike. My goal is not to die but to avoid millions of deaths, that Europe gives itself the means to act for health, the climate and employment. He claimed the EU faces a triple emergency, in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic. People are not aware of this, but we are heading towards a situation where there will be almost no money for climate, for health, nothing serious for jobs, the French MEP added. Mr. Leroux called for a deal to be done to raise almost €50 billion using EU-wide taxation on financial services to pay for new hospitals and easing the unemployment burden. He said, the only solution is to raise the EU's own resources through a real tax on financial transactions, which would make it possible to pay back the coronavirus recovery plan while at the same time financing health and the climate. Mr. Leroux is one of the negotiators responsible for ensuring the bloc's next budget can be passed through the European Parliament. In July, EU leaders agreed on a €1.8 trillion budget and coronavirus recovery fund as part of an unprecedented package to help the bloc bounce back from the economic woes triggered by the health crisis. But the European Council infuriated MEPs with decisions to slash funding in a number of areas in order to help secure the support of the so-called Frugal Four, Austria, Sweden, Denmark and the Netherlands. Leaders also had to water down plans for a mechanism to link future funding to respect for the EU's rule of law principles. Mr. Leroux accused the Council for blocking the introduction of EU-wide taxes to help repay the massive bills to be run up from the non-repayable grants that will be handed out to pandemic-ravaged regions and industries. European capitals have long resisted such measures in order to retain sovereignty over their own taxation systems. The hunger-striking MEP has challenged President Macron to a debate in a bid to unblock the impasse.